Well, hello, good afternoon, and welcome to today's video. As promised, after the success of the last video we did with the Hinari TV, we thought, as promised, I said I'd come back today and feature another TV out of my collection, which is this Hinari 14-inch, again 14-inch portable TV from 1987. And I can actually give you a bit more information on this set because this did actually belong to me. This is my set, my bedroom television as a kid, back at my mum and dad's house. In fact, actually, it belonged to me and my sister when it was bought for us in Christmas 1987. The deal was that we shared it. Not quite sure how you share a TV, but there you go. So yeah, this is Hinari. It was a cheap brand of TV that they brought out, although cheap really as in the sense of 1987 colour TVs, probably not cheap in today's money, but cheaper for then. And I think actually they were more famous for making cookery utensils and appliances after they didn't sort of, I don't think they stayed in the TV and video market for very long. I think they was there for a few years, and then obviously probably got took over by another brand. So they didn't actually manufacture TVs for many years. But yeah, we've actually removed the back off this one. I've not. Again, this hasn't been powered up in a long while. So we're going to do the same as we did with the last one. See if we can get any power out of it, try and get a signal to it, because obviously again this is an analog television, obviously from 1987, so it's going to be the same scenario. But I've already rigged that up. We're actually filming from downstairs now at the minute because the light's a bit better down here. So yeah, we've actually removed the back of this one, so you can see, as you can see, very, very dusty in the back of there. Decades and decades of dust. So what I might do is, before I put the back on, which is just there, give it a good old going over with the air duster, just to try, and it's absolutely caked in dust, so you can tell how old this thing is. You see mono speaker there, and I just love, look at that little, I don't know whether you can pick it up, actually there's a little magnet just on the, you can see it now, where the speaker would have been touching the back of the neck of the tube, and would, if it wasn't for that magnet there, probably give it a nice colour patch on the screen. So you can tell how cheap this TV was made. That's how they got around that. So yeah, saying that though, I have seen some Sony receivers like that, so it wasn't only the cheaper manufacturers that did that. I've seen Sony, I've seen a few Sonys with that as well, so it wasn't only the cheaper manufacturers. Obviously the tube there, the yoke, where your aerial modulator will give you all your signals. Sorry if we're going a bit out of focus, the light is really, really rubbish. I'm struggling to, it's a bit of a crap day today, so we've not got much sun. So yeah, obviously, you know, if you do remove the back of a TV, especially a CRT one like this, do make sure that you don't poke around inside it, certainly when the set's plugged in, because there is some nasty volts hidden inside a TV. So you've got various, obviously, there's various parts. I know a bit about it, so there's various parts I can point out. That there is the line output transformer, or the flyback transformer as it's known as, and you've got a couple of controls on there which control the focus and various images on the picture, if you know what you're doing. So I'm not going to muck around with any of that. As I say, there's where your aerial socket is. Only a single aerial connection on here, no SCARTs or anything, just a very basic aerial connection. Obviously the tube there, and then obviously the circuit boards that control the channel change and the volume up and down and the various tuning functions there. It does look like this is a stereo set, but it's just because it's got them two grills, but it is actually only the one It's only mono, as you can see. There's only the one speaker, not another speaker on that side. So yeah, that's basically the back of it. Now I looked at the back and I thought I'd fucked it. Sorry, excuse my French. Thought I'd ruined it because I took the back off, and then straight away I saw that, and I thought, oh shit, we've broke a wire. That's not going to be any good. But actually, all it is, back when this telly was new, it had a built-in aerial. I think it was a square one on this one, and it actually folded round at the back of the set round there, and they can see where the two connections to the aerial were. So obviously over the years that's got broke off. So all that is the actual connection to the aerial, what used to be there. And you can see there, look, the cable at the back, which would have plugged in a bit like the one on the Matsui. You could have plugged that into there and you would have had an indoor aerial, but obviously that's broke. So I thought for a minute we'd bust it, because I thought, oh shit, I thought we'd snapped a connector off the back there, but then I realised what it was. So we should still be alright. It shouldn't affect the working of the telly at all. So right, what we're going to do now, what I'm going to do is pause the video for a minute while I get the aerial sorted out. See if we can power it. Well, let's plug it in and see if we've got any power first of all. So obviously this is had its cable extended, and I can remember why it was extended actually, because this, as I said, this belonged to me and my sister. I had it in my bedroom for quite a few years, and then when I eventually upgraded, when I bought my own telly, she had it, and I think what we did, we had it on a bracket, and I think it was a long way down from the socket, and I think my dad concocted this extension thing there. So obviously you can see that's the original television cable, and then he's connected it in there and then extended it. So we have got quite a long cable on this. As I said, I can give you a bit of history on with it being our own set. Quite a bit weird actually, this one, because the first time it ever broke down, say it was new in 1987, Christmas 87 we had it. It did actually break down in 1991, and it was a failure in the power. It was one of these, I think. The reason I know that is because when I can remember when it broke down, it actually started sparking, and took it round to my local TV repairman, PJ Evans, who literally had his shop round the corner from us, and he actually powered it up and took the back off and showed us in the workshop, and you could actually see, he says, this is the component that's gone, and it was actually, there was sparks, it was like arcing, and I can remember that. I can't exactly remember which bit it was, but I do remember that. And he says, yeah, straight away I'll get you in. Back in them days they did, I'll get the parts ordered up. And about a week later he rung us up and said it's all done, ready for collection, paid the man. And I remember it was my first week that I started at Grice's. So let me let this bloody cat out. Go on. Doing my brain in today, she is. Right, sorry about that. So yes, that's that. And I remember it was my first week in my first proper job, so I think that's probably where my first wages went, or some of my first week's wages went on. I thought that's good. So yeah, so that's that. And then